Now we will have a look at how to iterate over elements in a list in F#. If you're coming from a C# background, you're probably used to doing this kind of stuff with looping. So for loops are used for... In this video, we will show you how to iterate over a list in F# and do some sort of manipulation on the individual elements. So whenever we do this, we would have some list to begin with. We're going to call it input, and we're just going to give it a value of this. So 1, 2, 3. A very simple list. If you come from a C# background, what you're probably going to be used to is doing something like for item in input, do, and then you could technically like print your elements in here. So you would do like print fn, and then know that it's a string, and then print the item, like that. We could do that, and if we evaluate this, we would also get a result, but it violates a bit the principles of functional programming. We don't want to write explicit loops like this in our code. It messes up the evaluation flow and is not best practice for F#. So you can see that the output is correct, but a better way of doing this, if we're doing C# code or F# code, is to send the inputs or the input to the list.iter function for iterate. And in here, we would then specify the function that we want to do for each element. So let's call each element of this, or the element that we're interested in, x. And what we're going to do then is we're going to print fn, same thing, so x in this case. Okay, if we save that and evaluate, you're going to see that we get the same result as we did before. And we can even make this expression a bit simpler now. We can remove this first part, where we specify that the input argument is x. We can remove x from here, and F# is going to figure out by itself that just executing this part is going to be enough. So it figures out that we want it to take each element of the list and print it. And you can see that the output from the second evaluation is the same. And if I save this shorthand notation, I can also execute that for you. And you're going to see that the output here turns out to be the same as well. So that's a very quick overview of how you iterate over lists and do different manipulations. You can, of course, do more complex behaviors in here, but that's the general functional principle of iterating over lists.